Hi, it's Gary. Welcome to today's video. So today we're at the end of August. We're going to wrap up the pens that I've been using during August of 2025. So it's a use me up month. So it was all about trying to empty out some pens and get them cleaned out. Join me now down on the table. We'll get into ranking those pens. Welcome down to the table. So here we are taking a look at the pens that I've been using during August of 2025. A use me up month. The idea is empty a pen, don't ink it back up again, clean it out and then fetch another one to reduce the number of inked pens that I've got. So I started the month with the Jinhao 9019 and Diamine Cranberry. Then we have the Majohn P139 with a Fude nib and Diamine Yule log. We got the TWSBI Diamond 580 and Diamine Weeping Willow. The Laban 325 here with Diamine Pick Me Up. The Sailor ProGear Slim with Colorverse NGC 2264. And then finally the Platinum 3776 Century with that music nib and Colorverse Sailing Stones. So how did I get on with these pens? How did I rank them? We'll start with the one I put in position number 6. This is, I know I keep saying this every month, it's a difficult month to judge. All the pens are nice. They've all got little things which they'll niggle you. And it's those niggles and the little things that I like about them which have really come into my ranking. So the one I brought in at number 6 is that TWSBI Diamond 580. I love demonstrator pens. I really like the look of this. As you see, even though I've washed it out, I've still got some. I can't get rid of this blue ink in the cap. I'm thinking it's trapped here between the cap and the liner in there, which is a bit of an annoyance to say the least, because I can always see it. Pen itself is nice and comfortable. It fits well in the hand. Section does feel a bit thin. One of the reasons I'm really dinging it. The other big reason for marking this down at number 6 is at the start of the month, I was having terrible flow issues. So I would be writing away and it would just stop. I'd get it going, usually just by shaking it a couple of times. A couple of times I had to prime the feed as well. But I'd be writing then, go back to writing, and maybe sometimes even after just one word, sometimes I might get a sentence, even 2 sentences, and it would stop again. What I did is I unscrewed the nib unit, I pulled the nib and the feed out from that as well. I ran it all through an ultrasonic cleaner, really gave it a really good deep clean. Put it back together. I think what I've done when putting it back together is obviously the nib and feed would be slightly different alignment. After I'd done that, it was fine. But I'm ranking these, so because of that issue right at the beginning, I'm bringing this in at position number 6. So that's a 580. Next up, the Jinhao 9019. Really like this pen. It's a really nice size. It's a nice shape. One of the things I do dislike about it is the section. I know why it's so big, but it feels too big. It's one of those things, I do like larger pens, but with this, because of the width, my hands start aching after about half a page of writing. We've got that number 8 size nib on there. Wow, just look at that. And we've also got that new Jinhao converter, so it's a massive converter. But if I've got a pen that makes my hand ache after I'm using it, it's not really there adding value because I'm then focusing on the pen and not on my thoughts. So when I'm ranking these, I've decided this comes in at position number 5. Position 4 goes to the Laban 325. Nice looking pen. I do wish this fancy material here was also in this part of the cap. I think that would look a little bit nicer, but that's just my personal view. This is the Cambridge Brown model. Got a nice number 6 nib there, steel nib. There we go, there's the converter. Why have I put this in at position number 4? Well, the pen's nice, doesn't excite me. The section is starting to feel a bit on the thin side. I know we've gone from a big section to a little one. Don't I sound like I'm whinging about these? But when you're trying to rank them, you've got to look for these little niggly things. It's fine, it's comfortable. It will post, but to me, it's not overly secure and it does make it extremely long. I don't use my pens postage, so it's not really relevant for me. But I'm having to rank, and for this one, when I thought about it on balance with the other one, there we are, I've managed to unscrew the section there as well. When I thought about it on balance with all the other ones, I thought, no, this comes in at position number 4. Just going to move the page up a little bit. Can we get the remaining pens all on there? Nearly enough. Position 3. Now I'm starting to really think hard about these to try and work it out. So it's either a Majohn P139, Sailor ProGear Slim, or the Platinum 3776 Century. Position 3, I gave to the Sailor ProGear Slim. Love the looks, absolutely stunning looks. I love the sparkle that we get in here. I love the nib. It's one of my favourite nibs, if not my favourite nib that I've got. Cartridge converter. Here we go. Why am I marking it down? Again, as I say, I'm being quite picky. It's short. Here it is unposted. I find I really struggle to use this unposted. It will post. When it posts, it's really nice. It's got that nice weight. It's got the nice length. It feels quite nice to hold. Section. This is the thinnest of the sections that we've looked at so far. Very, very thin section. It's all right. I can normally get a page out of this, but then my fingers start to ache a little bit. So again, I then move from thinking about my thoughts to thinking about my hand and the way it's aching. So for these reasons, I'm going to give this position number 3. At position number 2, which one do you think is position number 2? Position number 2 is the Platinum 3776 Century. This is the music nibbed version. Got a converter there. You see this ink in this. I've had to re-ink this because I've then used it to record another video with. Otherwise, this would have been cleaned out and left clean. Section's a bit wider than we see there on the Sailor. Lengthwise, it's just about usable unposted. I can post it. It feels a teeny tiny bit back heavy, but it's also quite nice using posted. But I tend to use this unposted. Here we've got the nib. So this is a 14 karat gold. And this is the music nib. So we've got the 2 slits and 3 tines there. Love the nature of this. It's really nice. Again, though, we are scoring, and I've decided to give this position number 2. So that means that position number 1, that goes to the Majohn P139. I love the looks of this pen. We've got the black, then we've got this white body, this sparkly body. Really, really nice. It's a piston filling pen. We've got a nice ink window there. There's next to no ink in here. I've written it out completely. Width-wise, not as wide as that 9019, so it doesn't feel as uncomfortable. Unposted, just about usable for me. You can post it. It posts down to here. So it's not quite, but can you see there how I've just noticed that? That started to come unscrewed. So I really wouldn't post it. But unposted, yeah, really nice. And I use my pens unposted. Here's the nib. Why I like this, it's this nib. It's this, I'm calling it a Fude. It might be called a bent nib if you look on the AliExpress and places like that. I love the line this puts down. It's just got so much natural variation, so much character to it. I actually like it with this ink as well. It was just ticking all the boxes, and it's about 1/10 of the cost of that Platinum 3776. So this comes in at position number 1. Just dropping in to interrupt your regular programming. Would you like to help support the channel? If so, please consider joining as a member. As a member, you'll get early access to my videos. I normally upload them a couple of days before they go out, and as soon as they're uploaded, they'll be released to members. There'll also be a shout out at the end of the videos, and then as we get the members coming in, we'll actually chat among ourselves and work out what other perks, what other things you'd like me to add in. You know, would you like maybe a monthly live chat just for members? All down to us. So please, if you can, consider joining the channel. A link will be in the description down below. So now we'll look at the inks. How do I rank the inks? At position number 6 with the inks, I've actually given it to Weeping Willow here in that Diamond 580. It's a nice ink. As I said, I had them flow issues. It's just a bit on the pale side for me. That's the main reason why I've marked it down. At position number 5, I'm giving to Diamine Pick Me Up. Again, another nice ink. It's a nice dark brown ink with a beautiful green sheen to it. But I just find it's just a bit too wet for me. So that's why I've had to mark that down. Position number 4. This one goes to Colorverse NGC 2264. So nice green colour. I do like my green inks. But the problem is, it is a green ink. I've got loads of green inks and there's nothing about this which is jumping out and saying to me, use this ink over some of the other ones. So yeah, that goes in at position number 4. Position 3, I'm giving to the Yule log. Nice shimmery ink. We've got this gorgeous copper shimmer coming through. Looks really nice, but compared to the other two, you know, it's all right. At position number 2, I'm giving that to the Platinum 3776 with Colorverse sailing stands. Again, it's another fairly light ink, but it doesn't seem as light as I was seeing with that Weeping Willow. And certainly in this nib, it was a glorious writer and we were getting a gorgeous line variation. And the way it looked, the way we had the shading, came out really, really nicely. So that means my winning ink, my number 1 ink, is by Diamine, and it's Diamine Cranberry. Nice, I want to say like a pinky purpley colour. And then we've got sitting on top of that, beautiful gold sheen. Really, really nice. Really enjoyed writing with this. Let's swap over and take a look at the pens that I brought in. So I've brought in 4 pens this month. The first one, the Opus 88 Coloro with Diamine Cosmic Glow. So this pen, about $137. And that's Aussie dollars. Very nice pen. Like the looks of it. Nice and comfortable in the hand. This is an eyedropper pen. So you would fill it down here and wow, does it take a lot of ink. Only thing I don't like about it, the body, although it is transparent, is very, very dark. So I struggle to see the ink levels. So that was the Opus 88 Coloro, the Cosmic Glow. Wow, I love this ink. It's an extreme sheen ink and wow, does it sheen. Next up, I brought in the Platinum Preppy, $10 pen, 10 Aussie dollars. You know, a cheap as chips pen, a pen that most people could afford. Brilliant writer. You can eyedropper it. I haven't got it eyedroppered at the moment. I just refill a cartridge. I do have a platinum converter that would fit this as well. Very light pen. Section, really nice, nice and comfortable. Got a nice width to it. Unposted, perfect. Posted, hardly feel any extra weight, and then you get that extra length, but unposted is more than good enough for me. Really enjoyed that. Up next, we've got the Conklin Durograph. This always reminds me of things like the Jinhao 100, the Kaigaloo 316A, and images I've seen of the Parker Duofolds. I love this forest colour. This pen was actually gifted to me. I very much appreciate those. Cartridge converter. There you can see we've got next to no ink left in here, but I've had to prime the feed a number of times. Why I did that, I was finding that the pen itself was drying out all the time. So I'd go through 2 or 3 lines and the nib would stop writing. If I left it a couple of days, the nib wouldn't start writing. I'd need to prime it. So I was constantly priming it. What I did, very similar to what I did with the TWSBI, is I did take out the nib and feed, gave it a really, really good clean. I did a little bit of work on the feed as well, and that seems to have fixed it. Since I did that, I've had no issues. And Diamine Walnut ink, really nice colour. The last pen, one of my, what I like to term a Christmas pen. You know, it's got the green and the red there of the tinsel that we use. This is the Bennu Talisman, and that's got Colorverse Supergiant, 284 Aussie dollars, so not a cheap pen. You've got a steel nib, a Schmidt nib. You've got a cartridge converter, but I'm guessing because there doesn't seem to be any metal fittings, I'm wondering if you could possibly eyedropper this, although you'd have no idea of your ink level. I don't intend to try it. It's just something that pops into my head. Can you do that? The colours really bright in your face, aren't they? And then if we look at the body, it's got these facets on, so it really plays well in the light. So they're the pens that I brought in. Let's swap over and take one final look at the pens. The pen at position 6, TWSBI Diamine 580. Then we've got the Jinhao 9019, the Laban 325, the Sailor ProGear Slim, the Platinum 3776 Century, the Majohn P139, the additional pens. Here we've got the Opus 88 Coloro, the Platinum Preppy, the Conklin Durograph, and then finally that Bennu Talisman. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. So what are your thoughts on these pens? How would you rank them? Please drop your rankings, drop your comments down below. Let's kickstart that conversation. Please hit the thumbs up button. Every time you like, every time you comment, just helps with the YouTube algorithm. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel so that you can get new videos as I release them. I'll talk to you again soon.